So when I think about my own personal health and fitness journey, I tend to follow this sort of simple roadmap. And this was certainly the case in terms of how I started, because 10, 15 years ago I was smoking like a trooper, drinking like a fish, eating pizza and fast food, and I didn't do any exercise at all, as little as possible. And I think a big part of the problem is obviously I knew that I wasn't being particularly healthy, but we think when we start, we're going to do so much stuff. Actually, no, we've just got to start simple, and I tend to follow this blueprint. So when I started off with exercise and nutrition, right? So working on the physical. And then as I did that, I started feeling better about myself, and of course I'm releasing a lot of happy brain chemicals. So then I started thinking about my career, right? And what was I doing with my life? Where did I want to go? Did I want to stay in the finance industry? So I started working on my ikigai. Right? And then as I worked on my physical, I worked on the mental, then I started thinking about my emotional health, right? What were the triggers that set me off? And for example, you're driving a car to work, someone cuts you up, and you lose your shit, Whereas the guy next to you, the same thing happens to him, and he's cool about it, right? So this is really down to our emotional health. Why do we get stressed? And of course we worry about losing our jobs, worry about the kids' education, worry about our relationships. So many things to worry about, right? But it's really important to deal with this stuff. So this is the next stage. And then finally we can work on the spiritual, which for me is really meditating and getting in touch with myself. Sometimes we fall off the wagon, and I fall off the wagon. And recently some of this stuff, some of these habits have kind of fallen a little bit, which can be a little bit frustrating. The point is just to pick up where you left off and start layering them back in again. But that's the way I look at things. But the key is I think for most people this is a good place to start. Even if it's just doing something once a week, with an experienced personal trainer. This is a great place to start. And the great thing is about personal training as well is that you're very busy in your life, you're making a lot of decisions at work, with your colleagues, with your bosses, making decisions at home with the family. When you do 1 hour PT, you just go into complete child mode and somebody tells you what to do for 1 hour and you can literally leave your brain in the office. This is a great place to start. Anyway, I hope it's helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me.